Shalom. Shalom. What's going on? What's going on? I'm so ready to have this conversation. I'd be so ready to have all my conversations, honestly. Especially when it's something that's like, I feel like I could benefit from. I feel like, any and everybody could benefit from. I'd be ready for those kind of conversations. Because they need them. Especially now. Hey,
Hey,
uh,
how are
how
you?
you?
No, no, sis, I need your light.
You said what?
I need your light. Let me
Yeah.
pop in here. Because truth be told, I just finished fixing some bacon cheeseburgers because they won't let me come home and relax my nerves. Talking about this family of mine.
Me. You already know. You already know me.
Let me
Can
pop
I
my...
just say, like, you have been glowing lately? I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for it.
I appreciate that, sis. I've been trying to keep my head straight, if you will.
Yes, that's why I was like, I couldn't wait to have this conversation. Because, like, what have you been doing to, like, just keep your sanity in this whole pandemic
Yeah,
situation?
baby. I've been doing a little bit of everything. Nothing. You got to try everything. It's a combination of things, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I definitely had to increase, my prayer life because, baby, all kind of craziness coming from every angle. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've been really, really keeping a pulse on myself though. What feel good to me, what don't feel good to me. When I feel great, who's around? When I ain't feeling it, who's around? You know what I'm saying? I've been really checking my vibes. That's what I've been doing, and I've been keeping my vibes good. I've been protecting my energy. You know what I'm saying? I've been protecting my energy, but definitely just staying inspired, staying busy. I've been creating, I've been meditating, I've been journaling. Sometimes I just sit there and do nothing, and that does
Hello, somebody. I am a firm believer of just sitting.
doing nothing. There's
Not
so much therapy in that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When you constantly on the move and you can sit still and do nothing, it can be very therapeutic. So those are some of the things that I've been doing. But I also just changed what I've been putting into my body. Just as much as I've been, being mindful of, how I'm feeling when things are going well or when they're not going well. I've been just like, I'm a pass on that. No, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to put that in my body, and that has served me very well as well.
yeah, cause baby, I seen the legs. I
The
seen the
leg,
legs, honey.
the leg is skinny, baby. I'm trying to get my little pounds back, though.
You look good. You look healthy. Like everything you're saying just makes sense.
Girl,
That's been happening.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that a lot. But you know how certain things bring you back to a certain time. I feel like this size bring me back to the juvenile age, and I'm too grown for that. I like being a big fine mama, but I do agree that it looks better for pictures. So I'm making it do what it do for now. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, you can get a couple of pounds, but lead a
Like
leg,
five,
okay? Lead a
like
leg.
five. I'm gonna get like five, sis.
Yeah, all right, that's enough. So now you know it's not safe.
I'm
You're
gonna
doing
get
it right.
like five.
But yes, I was like, let me just check in because I posed a question. I was like, why does it seem like we don't want to heal? Like you see how you saying all these things that you're doing. It's like people rather thrive in the bull or thrive, and it's like, why are you choosing the option? So I was like, from a license perspective, like, why do you think people are so embedded in that mindset and not like you said, being more positive, being,
Honestly, I think that people are comfortable with the animal that they know. I think sometimes that fear is what keeps us from pressing forward. You know what I'm saying? Like I know this poverty, so I'm gonna keep staying in this poverty and working this check to this check, get to the next check, because that's what I know, as opposed to let me step out of this and make some sacrifices for a period of time so that I can get to a place where, you know what I'm saying, I'm healthier mentally so I can move forward and do some different things. But I think it's addictive. You know what I'm saying? When you used to be in a certain kind of way and you used to a certain type of energy, you used to a certain company. It's the very reason why people stay in relationships that are failing or that have failed in some cases. It's the same reason why, you know what I'm saying, some parents are still together. You know, and some toxic friends are still friends. Like, can I talk straight, or you want me to keep
No,
it?
you talk about it, Humpty, because
I came over here with no makeup on, baby. I came to talk straight. I ain't
give
got
it to our raw podcast. Talk about it.
listen. So that's really what I think it comes back to. I think that we as a community, although you know the awareness is it's on the surface, you know what I'm saying, and it's kind of like that fad talk. Every time that something new is awareness is brought to something new, if you will, it becomes a fad. Like people do it for a season, but nobody actually goes through the process. You know, the healing is in the process. It's the unpacking the stuff and to actually sitting in it and wearing it for what it is and accepting it for what it is, that healing comes from that. You know, we want to look like we're healing. We want to take a picture when we're talking with our therapist. We want to take a picture to show the look of things. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? How we are with our finances. Like, do we need to go there, or you? I'm gonna just leave that. That's for another one. You
Go
know what I'm
down.
saying? That's for another one. But
Yes.
definitely, I think it's rooted in just us knowing what we know and not trying to physically put that action behind knowing something different.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like everything you're speaking of is like facts. Like I feel the same exact way, but I'm like, let me hear from somebody who know. Like, cause also I feel like almost with the whole, like we were talking about mental health. I feel like you're saying a fad. I feel like everybody's using that as a crutch now. Like
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
people who actually deal with that, and it's like, and I've dealt with people that have had certain type of mental health issues, and it's like,
Hmm.
how long do I stay embedded in this relationship? Like, is a fine line between I want to help you, but do you realize what you're doing? Do you care? Like, so I don't know. It's like, what are some common mental health issues, and what are some that you feel like people use as a crutch, and some that you feel like people actually are dealing with?
I think right now there are people that for the first time in their lives, you know, they're experiencing depression. There are people that for the first time in their lives, I'm talking about just since the events of the world right now, you know, aside from the Capitol, just like presidency, you know, COVID-19 and all of the stuff that come with COVID-19, you know, job loss and you know, just instability on your job, you know, uncertainty in your job and whatever your roles are, just having that question mark at the end of all of this. So people are developing these things that some people live with every day. Anxiety for sure, depression for sure, PTSD. I know for a fact. I
Uh-oh.
definitely feel the trauma of like I'm clutching my pistol as I'm getting out of my car. Nobody's ever robbed me. Nobody's ever taken my vehicle, but there's some trauma there because of what my community is going through, because of what people around me are going through, you know. And so I definitely feel like, you know what I'm saying, those are at the center of it. I know for some people control, so obsessive compulsive, you know, you know, disorders, and then on top of all of those compulsive disorders, eating disorders. I know people that I have customers that have come in that for a moment I had to, you know, aside from the masks and the hats and all this extra stuff that you have to wear now, they're literally wearing extra weight. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been obsessing over their life, as we're saying right now. And in that same respect, people who have lost weight, you know what I'm saying? Stress related. So you see it in all these different flavors. And then you have people that have a combination of all of it, you know, and it gets worse, you know, that it's not as talked about as it should be. Like we talk about mental illness, we talk about mental health, but we're very on the surface about it. So, I'm happy to see us come into a place where we can actually have a candid conversation like what we are, having today, because it's such a real thing.
It
It's such
definitely
a real thing. These are
it,
real things, real life issues for sure.
it definitely, because I was like, I felt myself having, I in the beginning of the pandemic reminded me a lot of Katrina. Like I just
Yeah,
didn't have a no. Like I didn't
yeah,
have a no.
yeah,
That's really all I could say. Like I was asked out. So it
yeah,
kind of seemed that way in the beginning, and I had a lot of PTSD around it in the
yeah,
very beginning. But I literally had to kind of talk myself out of my feelings, if that makes sense. And I'm like, dang, so crazy. And I thought, I was like, man, I thank God for this, because there's so many people that's not that strong minded,
yeah,
that's in those spaces, you know what I'm saying, that don't have the mind or capacity to be like, hey, I'm not staying here,
yeah.
like, moving on. So I was
Well,
like,
kudos to you, bro. Because guess what? That's big. That's major to be able to pull yourself from a place of extreme duress. You know what I'm saying? Depression alone. I've experienced depression at several different intervals in my life. I for sure had post what is it
post traumatic when you were, yeah.
I'm having a one of those things where nothing comes to you. Postpartum, it came
Oh,
back. It
okay.
came back, but I'm so like thinking about how triggered I am right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally to work and home unless I have an engagement. I'm hoping that I don't have engagements right now. So there's a form of isolation there. So depression is just, oh my God, it's so many. Everything okay over there? Yeah, everything all right? Yeah. All right. Sorry about that.
No, you
Um, so yeah, for sure postpartum was one for me. I had a hard time just getting back into the swing of, you know what I'm saying, getting dressed and putting clothes on and feeling pretty again after the little person invaded my space. Definitely after the death of my father, I experienced depression. His birthday was yesterday, so and then this climate on top of that, that's a whole nother thing. But for some people, it's their first time experiencing some of this stuff. For some people, they've been dealing with it their whole life. So, I know that you can push through anything one day at a time. And I know that, you know what I'm saying, just honoring your body and honoring, you know what I'm saying, what your body, because your body speaks to you. Even though your body doesn't speak to you, your body speaks to you. It's like when you're doing totally fine and you're running and running and running and a cold just hits you. You know what I'm saying? It's time to sit your ass down. Put it in park. Get out.
this
You
has
know?
been a season to sit your ass down. I
Sit,
could,
sit that ass down. Park it. Go back to
okay.
the drawing board. Yeah.
What? For real though. I'm like, it's just so crazy. And then just dealing with that manipulative mindset. I was like, let me ask her, why are people like this? Why are they like this, Ash? Just
They love it there and they're not ready to move beyond it. When they get ready, let me tell you something. Just like with an addict, you ever saw somebody that we talked about addiction in
mm,
our last thing,
yeah,
which when we sat down last time.
yes.
You're not coming out of that addiction to you right here. I'm done with it. I don't want it no more. So it's really about a mindset. You know what I'm saying? You choose, whether you want to sit in sorrow or whether you want to come out of it. I think it's a conscious decision. And I'm not saying that, and I can speak about this, not because I studied it only, but also because I've been in the thick of it also. And I think that for me, and as I talk to more people who have experienced it, it's the decision to decide to not live there. You know what I'm saying? To accept and honor that, hey, this is a feeling. I'm feeling it. I'm calling it what it is, and I'm putting it where it lives. But then I'm pressing forward because I still have big fish to fry. I don't have time to be sitting in, you know what I'm saying, toxicity all day. And now it's spewing out all over my friends and my family and all my relationship, my customers. Come on. I need that energy to be good every day,
Exactly.
and I think that comes from making a conscious choice. Life is about choices. People don't realize how much control you have over your well-being, your happy, your joy. You know what I'm saying? Your day. You could choose to, you know what I'm saying, let something take you over. You could say, look, I'm gonna deal with this right here, and then I'm gonna leave it right here because I got that to do.
Right.
So it's rooted in a lot of things though, Lace. I swear, it's just it really comes back to what you want for your life. And I think that's where the trouble coming at, because some people are connected to things, to people, to places, and to things, and it doesn't line up with where they are or where they're going or where God has called them to be. And so because they're still in that place, they can't matriculate through life effectively. And so if you're going to be effective, you got to have a pulse on yourself all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a face value person. My friends will tell you, my family will tell you, I'm very big on accepting people at their face value. What you show me, this is who you show me to be. I'm not going to call you nothing else. I'm not going to give you 100 if you're showing me you a 70, but I'm not going to be mad at you either for being a 70. I'm going to deal with you as a 70. So if you're in these different relationships and these dynamics are not lining up, you got to start assessing. You know what I'm saying? Just like with my business, I have to assess. I have to assess inventory and sales and retention and, what I'm saying, detractors and, what I'm saying, just I have so many things that I have to look at, what I'm saying, in a day,
Right.
that it's second nature and it's practical. So now it's not just to my business, it's to my marriage, it's to my motherhood, it's to my businesshood, it's to my sisterhood, it's to my Christianity, it's to every aspect of me, my finances. I'm constantly assessing all of this. And when stuff stop adding up, okay, we got to start subtracting. So
Okay.
hey, what we doing? What we doing? It is so 5 and 5 don't equal 2. That's not it, sis. No. Forward progress.
Yes. For
Forward progress.
real. I was like, let me just let her put a word out there for the people, cause listen, when I'm miserable, my misery don't love company. Okay,
No, can I be miserable in my own mess by myself? Because I
please,
want you to be better.
please, please. I want what's best for everybody, cause I have been happy. I can
Yeah.
honestly say I fought for my happiness, and
But I see that glow. I see that glow on your skin.
I
Yeah.
want to be happy. Like I have been happy, like literally, and it's like the moment that I was being happy and being in my happy space is like old shit and just bull, like just
It
like why
starts
you
latching
come
on to you. Where you come
back?
from? You
Just
don't
let
belong here.
yes, get away.
Mm-mm.
Sure,
Call it back to
like,
where it belongs, baby. Send it
let me
back
be happy. I was
in
like,
peace.
yes, I need to go online so I can get me some outfits, baby, because I'm ready for my summer popping. My yes,
Listen, come on outside. Can you open back up so we can pop
I
out?
know. Girl,
I'm
I didn't
ready.
get peach top again. How you got impeached twice? I was
Twice.
saying to him,
He said, I'm going down in history for all the foolishness. Whatever they got, I want it on my resume. When I go down, I want all the work.
that fool is a fool. I'm like, this fool is a fool. That's all I can
Yes,
say.
indeed, Lord. I'm definitely trying to see if I can order me some impeachments to have in the store, baby.
Yes, because it's going to sound like
Two
hotcakes.
times. Two times.
2 times. He foolish.
God, it's
I,
kind of crazy. I don't know that crazy.
he queer fool. But yes, I just wanted to chop it up with you and see what we're doing. Catch up. I'm not going to keep you because I'm sure you have more duties. I seen y'all TikToks I be peak. I'm like,
Baby, I'm about to beat my TikTok life up. I got this cold-blooded 11-year-old. I got him working all of my stuff out. I said, look, next week, we got to have a fresh TikTok every week. So, I can't dance, Lise. But I'm learning all kind of, I almost had an electric slide in here. We've been rolling. So you're going to see more of them TikToks. Me, Tanner, the gang, the whole work crew. We
yes,
popping out.
yes,
TikToking all 2021.
you say what?
We TikToking all 2021.
Yes, girl. Good energy and TikTok.
Yeah.
That's it.
Big facts, big facts.
That's
But I
it.
see you doing your thing too. You making a whole lot of stride as well.
You
You understand. And I'm proud. I love to watch. I'm
that's what I'm
enjoying it.
like, cause you was here from the beginning, so you
Yeah. Something about that day one though. See when the little day one piece pop up on my timeline and I see a little jacket. Oh girl, that's a day one piece. You've been rocking with the pop. Does
okay.
something to my soul.
And I'm so mad that I still have my top, but I can't go nowhere.
It's
So
baby.
I
Get
want.
dressed in TikTok. That's what I've been doing. Get dressed in TikTok.
That's what I'm gonna have to do, cause I'm like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
drop.
think I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
let.
drop the series after COVID-19 when it's over. I'm gonna have mad TikTok videos from the COVID era. Cause
Yeah,
where
that's
we was
what it's gonna
going,
be called. Archive the COVID era.
The COVID era for sure. The
Well,
COVID era for
I hope
sure.
that you guys are being safe, and I love you guys, and thank you for talking to me.
Yes, indeed. Anytime, you can hit me up. You got my number. I don't care what the hour you call me. And thank y'all. I see a couple of my girls in my little gang in here. Thank y'all for joining the live. If y'all not following that Raw podcast, make sure y'all follow Lacey Fresh.
Yeah,
My girl is covering big topics. She's talking about real things, and she support anything black. Like, what else?
definitely. What else can you ask for?
What else?
All we got, literally. Like we
Facts.
literally all we got.
Facts.
Especially girl, the capital girl. Girl, we're gonna talk about that later, girl.
Yes,
I,
baby. Yes, baby. The
I
quick
can't
quiz.
I can't with these white people. They white people and for real.
They on their real white people shit too. They enjoying themselves.
Th- That privilege is a mug, boy. I was like,
Privilege ain't fair. They say favor ain't fair. Privilege ain't fair.
that it ain't. But thank you
Yeah.
again. I will see you.
Bet. Talk to you later.
All right.
Be safe. Stay up.
I definitely will.
Bye.